Hare Krishna. So welcome to the first and introductory section of the Sri Isopanishad. So as a part of the Bhakti Shastri course, Srila Prabhupada has recommended 4 books. Yeah, these 4 books are the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Isopanishad, the Nectar of Instruction, and the Nectar of Devotion. Right? So there is a reason why these 4 books have been recommended out of the many books Srila Prabhupada has written. So these 4 books are the foundational. In every philosophy, there is something called the sadhana and the sadhya. Yeah, the sadhya is what is to be attained, the goal. That is Lord Krishna himself. Yeah, and there is sadhana. Sadhana is the process. So if we see the 4 books Srila Prabhupada has recommended, of these, Bhagavad Gita and Sri Isopanishad are those books, yeah, which give us the sadhana, the sadhya. That is actually Isopanishad. It points to the practices, while it very elaborately gives about the sadhya, the goal. It points also to the personal form of the Lord, although it does not mention directly about Lord Krishna. Yeah, it very clearly mentions, the book clearly mentions about the personal form of the Lord. And also sadhya. Sadhya is what is to be attained. The process of, what is to be attained is sadhya, and sadhana, how it is to be attained. So Isopanishad also points to the process of attaining the sadhya, while Bhagavad Gita very clearly establishes this. Yeah, who is the sadhya? Very clearly Krishna mentions, and the sadhana also. And the remaining 2 books, the Nectar of Instruction and the Nectar of Devotion, elaborate on these, the sadhana and the sadhya. Like in Nectar of Devotion, there are 64 qualities of Lord Krishna. Yeah, that's a description of the sadhya. Then there are 64 items of devotional service. Yeah, which is very, elaboration of the sadhana. And if you see the Nectar of Instruction, it's all about, the very in-depth, the attitudes required for appropriate sadhana. Yeah. So these 4 books are, as such, the foundational books of Bhakti Shastri, are in themselves enough for one to, be firmly situated in one's sadhana towards their sadhya. So if we see the actual classification of the Indian thoughts, I'm currently doing my PhD in Indian knowledge systems. So the Indian thought process is basically divided into 2. One is the Nastic and the other is the Astic. The Nastic philosophy is that, for example, Jainism, Buddhism, and they don't refer to a god, or Charvakism. Charvakism is about very, very specific atheistic thought process, who don't believe in the existence of God, nor do they refer to the Vedic literature. Yeah. So there are non-Vedic thought processes, which are called Nastic. And then there is the Astic thought process, or theistic thought process, which are like the Shad Darshanas. Yeah. What are these Shad Darshanas? We have learned earlier. The Shad Darshanas are the Mimamsas, the Purva Mimamsa, the Uttar Mimamsa. Then there is Nyaya, there is Vaiseshika, there is Sankhya, and there is Yoga. Yoga given by Patanjali, Sankhya given by Kannada. Yeah. So this Uttara Mimamsa, also called the Vedanta, is given by Srila Vyasadeva. So these Shad Darshanas, the 6 philosophies, the 6 darshanas are a part of this Astic literature or Astic thought process. So of this, they are in alignment these Shad Darshanas are in alignment with the Vedas, but they're not Vedantic. That means they do not truly encapsulate the conclusion of the Vedas. Yeah, more or less, they are thought processes which are given to prove their own philosophies. So these are the Shad Darshanas. But in Vedanta, Vedanta, which is actually the conclusion of Vedic literature, it is of two types. Here's where we are getting into the actual understanding of the Vedic literature. So Vedanta, Anta means the conclusion. Yeah, the Vedanta is basically of two schools of thoughts. Yeah, there are two schools of thought. One is the Dvaita, one is the Advaita. Yeah, the Advaita school of thought says that Advaita, that means non-dualism. That is, the Jivatma and the Paramatma are one and the same. That's Advaita philosophy. Yeah, it has been propounded by the Shankara tradition. Then there is a Dvaita school of thought, which is dualism, which has been propounded and very much, very strongly propounded by Sripad Madhvacharya. Yeah, that is a Dvaita philosophy. That is, Jivatma and Paramatma are different. They're not the same. This is a Dvaita school of thought. So, and in this, reconciling these two is the Achintya Veda Veda Tattva, which has been given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is the highest understanding of the philosophy. We will talk about that much later, the Achintya Veda Veda. So basically in Vedanta, there is something called the Prasthanatraya. So what is this Prasthanatraya? The Prasthanatraya is, there is Shruti, there is Smriti, and there is Nyaya. Yeah. So what is Shruti? The Shruti, you can take down the notes. I mean, they could be copious. Please make some pointers so that you will remember. So the Prasthanatraya, there are three types, which is the Shruti, the Smriti, and the Nyaya. What is Shruti? So Shruti means, as the word signifies, that which is heard. Yeah, that which is heard. So for examples of Shruti are the Vedas. Yeah, Vedas, the Samhitas, the Aranyakas, and the Upanishads. So what are the Samhitas? Samhitas are like those which have the details of the ritualistic processes of the Vedas. Yeah, that's the Samhitas. Then there is Aranyakas. Aranyakas are very much into, they point towards renunciation. And there are the Upanishads, out of one of which is the Isopanishad. Yeah, this is Shruti. So Upanishads are core philosophy. Yeah, let's speak about core philosophy. So, so there are some people who argue that there is no mention of Lord Krishna's name in the Upanishads. This is wrong. This is untrue. There is one example is of the 108 Upanishads. One Upanishad is the Gopala Tapani Upanishad, which very much speaks about Lord Krishna, the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. Yeah, very clearly mentioned. So so Shruti is basically that which is heard, and that which is not subjected to any change. That is Shruti. Then Smriti. What is Smriti? Smriti is that which is recalled after being heard. So basically, Smritis are the elaborated versions of the Shrutis. Shruti is like the as it is, and Smriti is that which is recalled by great sages and authorities and retold. So examples of the Smritis are like the Puranas, the Itihasas, and the Pancharatrikas. Yeah, the Puranas, we all know there are 18 main Puranas, and of course, there are also the Upapuranas. Yeah, and there is Itihasas. Itihasas like the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. So some people ask, what is the difference between Puranas and Itihasas? Yeah, so the Itihasas is mainly about, like, they focus on the historical narration of one particular lineage. Like, for example, in Mahabharata, it's the entire description is about the Kuruvamsha. Yeah, Kuruvamsha. That is about the Mahabharata. If you see Ramayana, it's more about the Surya Vamshas. Yeah. So this is one particular lineage or dynasty the Itihasas compiled together. Whereas the Puranas are more about the conversation, the samvada. Like, for example, you see Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, Srimad Bhagavatam is essentially the samvad between people, like the Shaunakadi Vishaya, like, Sutta Goswami giving, speaking Bhagavatam to Shaunakadi Rishis. And then within Bhagavatam, there is conversation. There is Narada Vyasa Samvada. Yeah, there is Maitreya, Vidura Maitreya Samvada. Yeah. So in these samvada or discussions, so many things are narrated, which happened in different millennia. Yeah. So that is Purana. So Puranas are basically their conversations. Yeah, but Itihasas are like they speak about one lineage. And the Pancharatrikas. Pancharatrikas are like, like the Narada Pancharatrika, which gives details of worship. Yeah. So this is the Prasthanatraya. Can somebody tell me what is the Prasthanatraya? I just spoke about what are the three. What are the Prasthanatraya? Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
So Prasthantaris are classified into three types, that is Shruti, Smriti, and Nyaya.
Yes, excellent. Shruti, Smriti, and Nyaya. So Shruti, what are the examples that I had given you?
Vedas,
Yes.
Samhitas, Aranyakas, Upanishads.
The Samhitas, the Aranyakas, and the Upanishads. Excellent. And Smriti, what are the examples of Smriti I spoke about?
Puranas, Itihasas, and Pancharatrikas.
Puranas, the Itihasas, and the Pancharatrikas. Wonderful. And Nyaya's example is the Vedanta Sutra. So I have one question to all of you. So okay, first question is Isopanishad. It comes under which of these three? It's an Upanishad, right? So is it Shruti, Smriti, or Nyaya? Shruti, yeah, because it's an Upanishad. Upanishad is Shruti. Then Bhagavad Gita. Can you tell me the book Bhagavad Gita comes under which one? Shruti, Smriti, or Nyaya?
Mataji, it's come in both because it's like Mahabharata is a historical one, so वो स्मृति में आता है, and because वो बाद में बोला गया and it was written by मतलब it was spoken by Vyasdev again and written by Ganpati Bappa, so it's like it also come in Shruti.
Yeah, your answer is correct, but the explanation is slightly to be modified. Yeah, the answer is very perfect. It comes under Shruti and Smriti. It's a very special status. It is Shruti because it is the direct word of God. It's a direct word of Krishna. Yeah, it's not that Smriti means, see, that which is recalled, something that has been spoken, the original text, it has been recalled and elaborated. That is Smriti. So Shruti is direct word of God. So that is why Bhagavad Gita is Shruti, because it's directly spoken by Krishna. It's a direct word of God. It is Smriti because it comes in Mahabharata, which is essentially the conversation between Vaishampayana and Janamejaya. It's a Smriti, recall. Yeah, it's recall. The whole Mahabharata is actually the conversation between Vaishampayana and Janamejaya. And in that entire Mahabharata, in the Bhishma Parva, which is the fifth, the Bhagavad Gita is narrated. Yeah, so that is why it is Smriti. But it is Shruti because it is the direct word of Lord Krishna. This is very, very important for us to know. Yeah, because there are some arguments which say that Bhagavad Gita as such is a Smriti and not Shruti. No, it is both Shruti and Smriti. It is Shruti because it's a direct word of Lord Krishna. So, as future carriers and preachers of the message of Lord Krishna, you have to be equipped with the right knowledge and be ready to defeat any arguments. Yes. So this is about the Prasthanatraya. So, and then, the third is the Nyaya, which the example is the Vedanta Sutra. The Vedanta Sutra is like the encapsulated form. Yeah, so like Srila Vyasadeva has very close to where our Meghna is. Yeah, the Vyasa Gufa is. If you go to Badrikashram, which is up near Badrinath. It's a village called Mana village. It's a beautiful place called Vyasa Gufa, which is on the banks of River Saraswati. Very, very beautiful place. This is where Srila Vyasadeva has compiled a Vedic literature. Very elaborate Vedic literature Srila Vyasadeva has compiled. He has compiled the 4 Vedas. Yeah, and the 108 Upanishads, the 18 Puranas, the 2 Itihasas. It's massive what he has compiled is. And after all that, he gave all the essence of the entire Vedas as aphorisms, called the Vedanta Sutras. Sutras means, the fundas, what you call in just 3 words. Srila Vyasadeva gives the essence of Vedas. They're called aphorisms, like Athato Brahma Jigyasa, 3 words. Yeah, they're very deep, very profound, and they're very complicated. Some of these Vedic aphorisms are very complicated for the Kali Yuga brains to actually decode and understand. So that is why there are commentaries on these Vedanta Sutras. So the natural commentary on this Vedanta Sutra is the Srimad Bhagavatam. And there have been commentaries on Vedanta Sutras in different sampradayas. Like there is a commentary by Sripad Ramanujacharya. Yeah, and there is the beautiful Govinda Bhashya given by Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan. It's a commentary on this Vedanta Sutra. There is also a commentary given by Sripad Madhvacharya. There's also a commentary given by Shankaracharya. So on the Vedanta Sutra, there have been periodical commentaries given by the most prominent acharyas. So this is about Vedanta Sutras, which is the essence. Yeah, the essence given and then further commented upon. So Srimad Bhagavatam comes under the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. So, we spoke about the Isopanishad, which actually is one of the Upanishads, one of the 108 Upanishads, and it comes under Shruti. So let me just share with you. I don't know if you all have Isopanishad book with you. It's something like this. You can buy the book. It's very, very nice, small, and if you open the book, there are 18 mantras. Yeah, there are 18 mantras in this, plus 1 invocation. So this is the content of this beautiful book, the Sri Isopanishad, which we are going to start from next week. We will start with the invocation. But prior to that, today what we're going to discuss about is the introduction. So this introduction is actually a speech delivered by Srila Prabhupada in London. It has been recorded and then transcribed by his dear disciples. So this is what is there in the introduction to Sri Isopanishad. So today we're just going to briefly discuss about this introduction. I just prepared a small PowerPoint. Let me share that with you. Yeah. So basically, these are the, if you read the introduction, it's about 10 pages, and these are the paragraphs. So paragraphs 1 to 5, please note down. It would be easier for you to understand the entire introduction. Paragraphs 1 to 5 speak about we have 4 defects, so we need Vedas. So what are the Vedas and why do we need the Vedas? So that's what paragraphs 1 to 5 speak about. 6 and 7 speak about Vedas give universal and axiomatic wisdom. Yeah. And 8 and 9 speak about Vedic knowledge superior to Pratyaksha and Anumana. Yeah. 10 and 11, Vedas and Krishna, the only way to know the transcendental. And 12 and 13 speaks about the history of Vedic literature. So this is what this brief introduction of Sri Isopanishad is. So paragraphs 1 to 5 speak about the 4 defects. So we need Vedas. So what are the Vedas? Yeah, Vedas have different definitions. They have narrow definitions and they have very broad definitions as well. Yeah. So Srila Prabhupada speaks about a very broad definition. Any knowledge is Veda. Any knowledge is Veda. So we are all very fascinated about the knowledge. We are in pursuit of knowledge. We love to acquire knowledge. That's why we are studying. And, knowledge is very, very, it's an opulence of Lord Krishna. But what is knowledge? Yeah. When in the conditioned state, we are limited. Yeah. We are limited in our ability to acquire real knowledge. Yes. We are very much limited in our ability to acquire real knowledge. Why we are limited? So because we have these 4 defects. So it does not mean that we have to, feel bad or depressed about that. When we know our limitations, we look up for help. That's the beauty in reality. Yeah, living in reality. Oftentimes, we live in the illusion that, yeah, I know everything. Yes, I do know. And we do not know our limitations. We do not seek help. Yeah, we think we are self-sufficient. But when challenges come, yeah, when depression comes, and when anxieties come, when we are under stress, when we become helpless, and when we are traumatized, we don't know what to do. Yeah, we turn to very, very wrong methods of overcoming them in a way that we complicate our karmas further. Yeah, and further get into the complexities of this material nature. We become more and more entrapped. So this is the danger of not knowing our limitations and living in illusions. So the very first introduction, Srila Prabhupada speaks about our limitations. Yeah, our limitations in acquiring real knowledge. So you might have heard this many times about in the Discover Yourself sections. Anybody recalls? Okay, you might have heard, but you might not know what are the Sanskrit terms and the reference of this. Yeah, we know what are these 4 defects. What are these 4 defects? Imperfect senses. Anybody? What's the second one? Tendency to be illusion.
Cheated.
Yeah. What's the third one?
To be cheated.
Yes, cheating propensity. What's the fourth one? Fourth is actually cheating propensity. Third is tendency to commit mistakes. Imperfect senses. Tendency to commit mistakes. Tendency to be illusioned. Cheating propensity. Anybody knows the Sanskrit terms for these 4? And the reference, from where did this come? Okay, today I'll share that wonderful thing with you. This comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila. It's called, yeah. Brahma Pramada Vipralipsa Karina Patava Ashavikya Vakyena Hi Doshai Sabha. So Brahma means tendency to commit mistakes. Pramada, tendency to be illusion. Vipralipsa is cheating propensity. Karana Patava means imperfect senses. Karana means senses. Karana Patava means imperfect senses. Apatava, Patava means perfections. Apatava means imperfectness. Yeah. So Prabhupada in this purport beautifully writes that Brahma refers to false knowledge or mistakes. Yeah. Tendency to commit mistakes, accepting a rope as a snake. Yeah. Then pramada means tendency to be illusioned. Yeah. We do not understand what is permanent and what is temporary. We oftentimes mistake. We hear that we are not this body, we are the soul. But how much are we living that reality? Yeah. So that's about tendency to be illusion. So we hear many things. We hear the Vedic truths. We hear the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, but how much are we able to live by them? Why we are not unable to live by them? Because time and again we have this tendency to come into illusion. So Maya means that which is not. Yeah, that which is not, we tend to take it as reality. This is a tendency to be illusion. Especially girls have this. I really find that girls have this tendency to live in illusion very, very strongly. No matter how much they hear, no matter how much they know, time and again, there's a tendency to fall into the same trap and repeat the same mistakes, and tendency to just live in illusion. The illusion that this Maya promises. Yes, it's tendency very, very, very difficult to overcome. So this is Pramada. Brahma is to commit mistakes. Pramada is tendency to be illusion. And Vipralipsa, cheating propensity. Because we have this tendency to commit mistakes, and because we are always in illusion, but we don't want to show ourselves that I've been just receiving the kicks of Maya. Nobody is willing to admit that. So because we're not willing to admit, we have to put up a show. What is that show? I'm fine, I'm happy. Cheating propensity. Yes, we cheat ourselves. I've heard a very beautiful quote that to the degree we are not surrendering to Lord Krishna, to that degree we are cheating ourselves of that infinite nectar, which is actually the true property of the soul. And the nature of the soul and what the soul deserves is that infinite happiness in the loving service of Krishna. But the mind is so adamant. And in that adamance, what is it doing? It is cheating oneself of what it actually deserves. So this is a very, very, very strong, if you see in the 6 anarthas, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, moha, illusion, lust, anger, greed, pride, illusion, and envy. Illusion is one of the 6 anarthas. Yeah, and it's a very dangerous, very rooted anartha, very difficult to overcome. Yeah. If you have overcome this, then you're done with material life. So Brahma, Pramada, and Vipralipsa, cheating propensity. Yeah, we're cheating others, we're cheating ourselves. And it's the pastime that has been continuing since many lifetimes. And Karana Apata. Karana Apata. We all have imperfect senses. Yet people begin to ask that if there is God, show me God. Rhea, what is the qualification of your eyes? If the room is dark, you can't even make out where is what. You don't even know which switch is going to turn on the tube light, which switch is going to turn on the fan. Yeah, this is the qualification of our eyes. Yet people say that show me God. Why will he be visible to your eyes, imperfect eyes? Yes. So once Prabhupada, when somebody challenged Prabhupada, can you show me God? Prabhupada said, I can show you God, but do you have the eyes to see God? Yes. So this is very, very important. Imperfect senses. When we understand that our senses are imperfect, then we begin to inquire. Yes, my senses are imperfect. My ability to acquire knowledge is limited. So where do I get the real knowledge? And who will give it to me? So this is where Vedas are the answer. Yeah, that's what I said. From 1 to 5, we have 4 defects. Yeah, that means our senses are limited in their ability to acquire true knowledge. That is why one has to approach the authentic source, which is the Vedas, which is free, which is Vedas. Another name of the Vedas is Apaurusheya. They are free from contamination of these 4 defects. Because why? Why? Because Lord Krishna himself is a compiler of the Vedas. Vedaischa sarve ahameva vedya. Vedanta krid, Vedavid eva cha. Vedanta krid, that is, I am the compiler, I am the knower of the Vedas. Vedavid, I am the knower of the Vedas, I am the giver of the Vedas. And so Vedas are originating from Lord Krishna himself. That is why they are apaurusheya. They are perfect knowledge. They are free from these 4 defects. Yes. So with our limited senses, senses which have these 4 defects, if we try to understand the reality, the truth, it is beyond our ability. That is what the next few paragraphs are speaking. Vedas give universal and axiomatic wisdom. 6 and 7 paragraph. What is universal and axiomatic wisdom? Universal truths. That means they're applicable at all times and at all places. And axiomatics. What is axiomatic truths? They're flawless. Yes, whatever is written in the Vedas, they're eternal truths. They're not subject to any upgradation. Yes, they are the same. Like for example, Prabhupada gives us a famous example that in the Vedas it is stated that cow dung is pure, right? So people might argue, the stool of an, and in some places in the Vedas it is also written that the stool of an animal is contamination. If you touch stool, you have to take bath. But cow dung is so pure that you clean the altar with cow dung. I remember many years ago, my first Jagannath Rath Yatra, which happened in Hyderabad, like at Lalita Kala Toranam. The whole dais was supposed to be first cleaned. After that, they put the platform and all that. So I got this service of cleaning that altar with cow dung water. So I only personally cleaned that entire altar with cow dung water. And then, they put the altar, and that's where then it is purified. And that's when Lord Jagannath comes there. So Vedas declare that, the cow dung is pure. That means it is pure. No question. We don't have to research how is that. The stool means it is, it's a leftover, and stool is contamination. We should not touch it. If we touch, we take a bath. But no, cow dung is pure. It is used for cleaning the altar. So take the Vedic version. Later on, it has been proved, the antiseptic properties, everything of the cow dung has later on been studied. In Vedas, they're already written. Yeah. I mean, there are many such examples, actually. For example, there is many years, just recently, there is a discovery that the earth is actually spherical. Earlier, it was thought, after we got the satellite pictures and all, earlier it was thought that earth is a flat surface. There's some people who propose that, earth is flat surface, and, if you just go to the end of the earth, you'll fall into, nothing, vacuum. So there were some proposals. But that earth is spherical, has been written many, in the Vedic literature. The earth is called gold. Gold means goal, it's round. Yes. And there are also the examples of the different developmental stages of the embryo, even before the discovery of our scanning and all this, ultrasound, etc. Yeah, there's a third canto of Bhagavatam gives a description of the embryo. When is this compiled? 5,000 years ago. Without any scanning and all that, how is there a description of an embryo? So Vedas are, these are some few examples to understand that Vedic knowledge is beyond the grasp of these senses. So yeah, then what is the next? So Vedas give truths, universal and axiomatic wisdom. And 8th and 9th paragraph says, Vedic knowledge is superior to Pratyaksha and Anumana. So what is Pratyaksha? Pratyaksha is direct sense perception. And Anumana, what is Anumana? Anumana is induction. Yeah. So basically, if you see, most of the scientific research today is of two types. One is empiricism and second is rationalism. Yeah. So what is empiricism? Empiricism means that which I see with my eyes, only that is truth. Beyond that, I do not buy anything. Yeah, I don't count it as scientific. This is what is called empirical evidence. If you have to go and do any PhD or any research, you will come across this word many times, empirical. Yeah, empiricism. Empirical truth. That means which I can validate through my senses. Only that is that is what I'm going to accept as scientific. This is empiricism. In other words, that is nothing but the Pratyaksha Praman, which our Vedas are speaking about. The other one is rationalization. This is something called Anumana Praman. So this is a school of thought that is based on logical inference. Yeah. So, but what is stated, Vedas, the Shabda Praman is superior to these Pratyaksha and Anumana. So why these two fail? Prabhupada gives an amazing example. So knowledge is two types, inductive and deductive. Yeah, deductive is something, this Shabda Praman, that is we hear, accept somebody as the authority, the Vedas as the authority, and we accept the truth as it is. Inductive means you have to conduct a research and, then finally conclude, yes, this is true. Okay, this is what is called inductive knowledge. So it's a beautiful explanation Prabhupada gives that man is mortal. Mortal means they die, right? A human being is mortal. So this is what has been told to us by our parents, our teachers, or by common sense. How did we acquire this common sense? Everybody speak about that. Yeah, if you have taken birth, you will have to die. So then if somebody raises a question that no, there might be, although people around me are taking birth and dying, there might be an immortal man somewhere. So let me research and find out. So is that possible? Yeah. So this is an impossible research. Where in the world you go and check, search from everybody, when are you born? Wait until that person dies. Sorry, this person is not dying. Before that person dies, actually our death comes. So it's an impossible research. So certain truths cannot be researched and, then deducted. Yeah, hence, my research says that man is mortal. It cannot be researched. It's just accepted. So that is what is, deductive knowledge. Scientific research is basically inductive knowledge. So that's the Arohana, Arohana and Avarohana. So Arohana it's called descending knowledge. Descending knowledge is coming down from in Parampara. And ascending knowledge is what we, of scientific research, which we find out and then periodically add our own understandings to it, an advanced version or modified version, modified understanding, upgraded understanding. Yeah, for example, our WhatsApp. Today you're using one version, after some time there's an upgraded version. Yeah, this is an example of ascending knowledge, which is always upgraded. Descending knowledge, no upgradation. It is eternal, no change. So this is how it is. Then, yeah, I'll just end the last two. And then Vedas 10 and 11 speak about Vedas and Krishna are the only way to know the transcendental real. So there's this beautiful verse in Sri Brahma Samhita. Advaitam achyutam anadim anantarupam adyam purana purusham navayovanam cha vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhakto govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So this verse speaks about the nature, the qualities of Lord Krishna. Advaitam. There is no second person to him. Achyutam. Anadim. Anadim, he has no origin. Anantarupa, he is infinite. Adyam Purana Purusham. He is the very first person and the oldest. So Lord Krishna is the oldest person, but Navayovanamcha. He is youthful. Yes, even in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he's 100 plus years. He looked like very, very youthful, fresh. So, as a 16-year-old boy. Now, that is, he is Purana Purusham, but Navayovanamcha. And then, the most beautiful part, Vedeshu Durlabham. You cannot catch Krishna through the Vedas. See, again, there's a contradiction. Krishna is telling, Vedaishcha sarver ahameva vedyam. From all the Vedas, I am to be known. Krishna is telling. But Vedeshu durlabham. You cannot catch me through Vedas. Then how do we know Krishna? So the purpose of the Vedas is to reveal Krishna. Vedaishcha sarvam ahameva vedyam. To know me. But Vedeshu durlabham. If you think that, yes, okay, Krishna is known through Vedas. Tomorrow I'll just buy all the Vedas, all the literature, and you start reading, studying everything on your own. Do you think you'll be able to catch Krishna? No. Then why? Can somebody answer why?
Because without having Guru, we cannot reach out Krishna.
Exactly. Very good. Very good understanding, Meghana. That's what is the next word. Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhakto. So we cannot know Krishna just by studying Vedas, but he is adurlabham. Adurlabham means he's caught. He's possible. He's impossible through the Vedas, but possible through atma bhakto, through his own devotees, his pure devotees. So the only way to know Krishna is by surrendering to his pure devotees. Tasmat gurum prapadyeta jigyasum ksheyam uttamam. Yeah. So if you want to know, Tasmat gurum prapadyeta, go and surrender to a guru with jigyasa, with genuine inquiry. And that guru cannot be just somebody. He should have two qualifications: Shrotriyam, Brahmanishtam. Shrotriyam means he might have heard the Vedic knowledge in parampara. Shrotriyam. Brahmanishtam, he's situated in that knowledge. So one cannot just go around and accepting anybody as a guru. Guru should have qualification. Now, what are the qualifications of guru? Shrotriyam, Brahmanishtam. Shrotriyam means he should have heard the transcendental knowledge in parampara. Brahmanishtam is situated in that knowledge. So that is the only way to know and Krishna. Yeah, then Krishna becomes, Krishna. This is beautiful Vaishnava bhajan. Krishna said Tomar, Krishna dite paro, Tomare shakati ache, Amito Kangala, Krishna Krishna bolu, Dhaitava pache pache. Krishna se Tomara, Krishna dite paro, Tomara shakati ache. This, oh Vaishnava Thakura, oh great Vaishnava, oh Gurudev, Krishna is yours. Krishna se Tomar. Krishna dite paro. you have that ability to give Krishna. Tomara Shakati, this is your power. What is the power of Guru? He has Krishna with him and he has the ability to give Krishna. Amito Kangal, I am a pauper. I can only run behind you crying out for Krishna. This is the mood of a devotee while approaching the Guru. Yeah, the last one, paragraphs 12 and 13 say, Krishna consciousness movement is completely authorized from Vedic principles, and this is the history of the Vedic literature. So this is in brief. So Krishna is not to be known just from the Vedas, although he is the purpose of the Vedas. The purpose of the Vedas is to know Krishna, but Krishna is not merely known through the Vedas. One has to approach that personality who is, personifying that Vedas. And that is why there is book Bhagavatam and the person Bhagavatam. Yeah, the book Bhagavatam is the literature, the pages that we read. But the person Bhagavatam is one who has encapsulated the essential teachings of Bhagavatam in one's own life and is living that life. This person Bhagavatam. So, yeah, then we have studied about the final thing is about the history of the Vedas. So Vedas and the Vedanta means the ultimate knowledge. And yeah. So the Vedanta Sutras point to the absolute truth. The absolute truth is a person. And how he is to be attained is the knowledge revealed by one's surrender to one's spiritual master. History of the Vedic literature I've already spoken to you about. So I will just summarize what I spoke to you today. Today I spoke about the two types of the thought process, the Nastik and the Astik. And then I spoke about the Prasthanatraya, the Shruti Smriti and the Nyaya. And then I also spoke about the sadhana and the sadhya. Yeah. Sadhya is Lord Krishna and the sadhana is a process of attaining him. And how these 4 books of Bhakti Shastri actually help us to get there. And I spoke about the Isopanishad as an example of the Shruti. And we spoke about the introduction to Isopanishad as spoken by Srila Prabhupada in the first 13 paragraphs. And next session, we will begin the invocation of Sri Isopanishad. Please be there on time, as the next 19 sessions are going to be exclusively about the book, the Sri Isopanishad. Next week, we will start the invocation mantra, Om Purnamada Purnamidam. Homework is memorize this verse. Yeah, memorize the invocation mantra. Okay, and you can recite during the class. Thank you all very much. Any questions? Any questions, clarifications, comments? Yeah, this book is available on Vedabase. So it's available online. Sindhuja, you can just post. Invocation mantra will be posted in the group. We'll post it in the book. Yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you, Mataji, for helping me in, my studies also.
Yes.
Mataji, you are also helping me in my studies. I am also reading these in my colleges and मेरे को काफी सारे terms clear हो गए.
Acha, okay. Well, you had one of these subjects that are similar?
Yes, Mataji. I am ये नास्तिक है नास्तिक दर्शन पढ़ रहे हैं. इसका एग्जाम है कुछ मतलब इसी अक्टूबर में.
Acha, oh, that's amazing.
मेरे को भी विजिट
Yeah, very good, very good, very nice.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hari Bol, I wish you all the best. Okay, we will meet again in the next session with the invocation mantra. Please don't miss. It's such an amazing mantra. In fact, you can just recite this verse every morning when you wake up. It gives a very beautiful understanding about this world, this universe, and yourself and Krishna's creation. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. Meet you all next week. So we are going to embark upon an exciting journey of Sri Isopanishad. It's one of my favorite books. Many, many years ago, when I studied this under my Bhakti Shastri teacher, he specifically told me that, you should teach this book. You should. So probably it's just his instruction I'm following. And I'll try my best to present this in a very beautiful way in which you will relish, enjoy, and apply. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.